You do not need anyone's permission for self-care. Self-care, I said it before, I'll say it again, is a gift that you give yourself. Self-care is a gift that you give yourself, and you are worthy. You deserve that. Lately, I've been talking about self-care as it relates to employment, as it relates to work, because at work, we usually don't practice self-care at work. Most of us have morning routines that we do in the morning for our self-care. Some of us have afternoon routines, before we go to bed, or evening routines before we go to bed. Very few people actually practice self-care at work. And that is what I want to talk about today, the importance of practicing self-care at work. Now, normally when you see me, my videos are at the office. I do 95% of my videos at the office. Today, I'm doing it at home. It's a Saturday here when I'm filming. I'm doing it sitting outside under the umbrella, talking to you, making this video. But most of the time, I do make all my videos at the office because I'm talking about work. I'm talking about work here too, but I'm talking about it in self-care, in my backyard, outside, getting a little vitamin D, not too much because I got the umbrella up. But the topic I'm talking about is self-care at work. When you're at work, I say this many times, I'm going to keep saying it until everyone hears me. When you're at work, it is important that you practice self-care at work. There's a lot of little things, free things. Sometimes people think self-care is massages or spas no. Sometimes self-care is 5 minutes breathing exercise or meditation, things that you can do for free that cost nothing, that you can get a free app on your phone to download on how to do breathing exercises. 2 apps that I use personally, I use Insight Timer. I use that for all of my meditation. I also use Calm. Those are 2 apps that I use. The free version. That's the version I use, the free version. So when you're at work, there's a lot of things. You can take a deep breath. You can journal. You can go outside, get some fresh air. You can stretch. There's so many things that you should be doing at work for your mental health, for your self-care. Again, those are just things just off the top of my head. I joke about taking a cigarette break. I don't smoke. I don't smoke anything, but I'm quick to say I'm going on a cigarette break. That's my version of I'm going out. I'm going to take a quick break, a quick reset. Some people call it a reset. Some people call it a timeout. But that's my version, my joke of a version to the people in my office, that they know I'm going to get some time to myself, some self-care time. That's one of the things that I do, that I want to encourage everybody who's working to start to develop some self-care routines, some self-care habits, some self-care rituals at work. Another thing that so many of us do, I'm guilty of it myself many times, is that we don't take our breaks at work because we have so much to do. We have so much to do that we don't take our breaks, and that is something that we all need to stop doing. We need to take our breaks. If we're allowed a 15-minute break, a 30-minute break, or even an hour break, we need to make sure that we are taking our breaks at work, period. And not just taking our breaks to do more work, taking our breaks to unplug, to get away, take for ourselves. You should not be eating your lunch or your breakfast or snacks at your desk. People say that all the time. Get up, walk away. If you have to eat it at your desk, turn your computer off. Don't look at your phone. Maybe don't look at the screens. We look at screens all the time. I know for a lot of us, we go from one screen to the next. I have 2 phones. So I go from one phone to the next, to the computer screen, to the tablet, to one phone to the next, to the computer screen, to the tablet, all day long. That's too much. When do your eyes get to rest? When does your mind get to rest to say, to rest? To rest. We are killing ourselves for what? To catch up. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a such thing that you can just be completely caught up on all your work. There's always something in your work that you could be doing. There's always. So for me, there's never a version where I'm all caught up. It is, I've checked everything off my to-do list. And I still have 1,000 things behind this one to-do list, but that is accomplishment. But to the point of just to keep going to the point that we're exhausted is not necessary. We should not be doing it. We should not be practicing it. So you're going to hear me talk about a whole lot. Self-care. And more importantly, what you can do. A lot of times you are waiting for somebody, your boss, your spouse, a family member, a friend to give you permission to give yourself self-care. And please let me be the first to say, if you haven't heard before, you don't need permission. Self-care is a gift that you give yourself. It's a gift that you give yourself. Give yourself the same kindness and grace and love that you give others. You know, we're so good at being kind to people, being nice, giving people grace, giving people chances, loving on people. We fail to do that to ourselves sometimes. And all of us need to do a better job of doing that to ourselves, giving that back to ourselves. We deserve that. Work out here, the world, not even work, the world out here is a lot going on. It's stressful. You turn on the news, you turn on social media, you know, for people who read the newspaper, I guess, you read the newspaper, you talk to a neighbor, there's negativity everywhere. Sometimes it seems like you can't get away from it unless you're underneath your bed. What are you doing to unplug? What are you doing to give yourself some strength, some energy to unplug so that you can tackle the day-to-day activities? Nobody can be on all the time. There's no such thing. And people who say that they're on all the time are lying. Nobody can be on all the time. All of us, every single one of us, need a break, need time to recharge and refresh. Everybody does it. Everybody, you know, you see it all the time when the president goes off on their vacation. It's a big deal, but they go off. They go off to refresh. You know, teachers have summers off to, you know, in theory, now I'm not a teacher, but in theory, to refresh and recharge. A lot of us who work Monday through Friday, but not the weekends, we're supposed to refresh and recharge. And we all rarely do that. And we need to. We need to, so that when we come back to work, when we come back to school, when we come back to run the United States, or whatever that thing that we're running, when we come back from vacation, that we're refreshed, that we're strong, that we can see things a lot clearer, and we can be able to move forward. You can't give and be your best self if you're not loving yourself and giving yourself the energy, the love, the kindness, the break, the recharge that you deserve, that we all need. I'm Belinda. I have a YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already know that. Please subscribe if you're not already. Instagram, TikTok, you know, you name it, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social media platforms also have a newsletter that I send out every week talking about these type of things with articles and videos, etc. to talk about everything work related, time management, productivity, but self-care. Self-care is at the top of the list. If you need permission, which you don't, if you need permission, I want you to look yourself in the mirror today and say, I give you permission to be kinder to yourself. I give you permission for self-care. Look yourself in the mirror and say that. You deserve that. You're worthy. You're valuable. I hope that everyone's making sure that they're taking care of their mental health. Again, it is so very important. See you at the next video. Hey, before you leave, I need you to subscribe. We need more rocket stars to land their dream job. Subscribe.